Yo, this feels so weird. This is being me in here.
Right? Yeah, this feels crazy.
Yeah. Welcome back to the City Palms podcast, everybody. Every Monday, you can count on us. There's no video this week. It's just going to be audio, and we'll still have a video on YouTube, but it'll just be a picture with the audio in the back. But there's not as much to see this week because it is just me in the studio, just Brian. But Danny's here with me. Say what's up, Danny.
Yo, how we doing? Welcome back to the City Palms podcast, people.
Due to the
We
circumstance.
had to bring it to you.
yeah, you know it. Due to the circumstances of the world, Danny is in his home, and I am in my home. Luckily, my home has a recording studio. So we're here. We're doing the City of Palms podcast because you know what? Doesn't matter about anything. All that matters is that we're here and we're doing it. Because, as most of you know, I'm sorry, Danny. Danny's voice is going to be a little bit muffled because he is on the phone, and so I'm not going to leave as much of the explaining things to him, but we're gonna be going back and forth. You're gonna hear his voice, don't you worry. So yeah, everyone already knows what's going on. We're all in our homes because we're afraid of this virus that is very contagious and whatnot. I work in a grocery store, so I've been feeling super weird. Actually, I'll just kind of talk about what led us up because this whole week has been kind of crazy. Leading up to this, but so Danny, what day of the week did you bring it up to me about Bree's family thinking about posting up at home?
Tuesday. Last
Tuesday, and today's Sunday, so it's the end of the week. That was near the beginning of the week. And then Aldi has been crazy because of ever since coronavirus has been talked about for a little bit now, but there was new news reports talking about stocking up on toilet paper and stocking up on stuff because of what other countries were doing with the lockdown situations and whatnot in order to control it. So people started hitting the grocery stores, of course, and so everything was super stressful at work for me. And then Danny, I guess you could take over here, Danny, because when it kind of ramped up a little bit and I started getting more worried was when you and Bree, when your family was taking it very seriously and you decided to quarantine yourself.
I mean, yeah, we went on quarantine. I think we've been on for 6 days now, just chilling, and I mean, haven't, we've just been trying to social distance ourselves as much as we can from society for times right now. Obviously, there's times where we have to go out. Everyone's got to get what they need and whatnot. And I'm trying to just maintain recreational time, as well, so I don't go insane. I've been running outdoors, doing a lot of at-home workouts. But yeah, that's basically. Yeah, we've been kicking it. There's actually word. I don't know. A lot more states have been, enforcing it. I don't know if we'll get to that point or not, but man, I hope this can pass soon. Honestly.
Yeah, and it's weird. The weirdest part to think about is no matter, next week we're all going to be affected by this. No matter what new policies come into effect or no matter what progress the virus shows us or whatever, next week is going to be affected too. And then it's unlikely that it'll stop there just based on how quick things have been moving along just this 1 week. But even if it stopped there, I'm still think about all the things that have been affected. You know what I mean? A lot of businesses around here have already been affected because of having to close down and whatnot.
Yeah.
So we can all just hope that this is going to pass by ASAP, but no matter how you look at it, the local economy is going to be way different once things start going back to normal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's true.
Yeah, and it's just so crazy to think about because we've never dealt with anything like this.
Yeah, they've said that but yeah, literally nobody in this lifetime has ever dealt with an epidemic such as this. I mean, the craziest one was I think the Spanish flu, and that was in 1918 or 1912 or something like that. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It is definitely crazy. But you know, we will we will get through it, and like
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's a matter of adapting after that, but we're gonna get through it.
Yeah, cuz like the way I see it, this is one of the biggest deals that we've dealt with as a society as a whole, you know what I mean? Like you said, like no one in this generation, no one in this lifetime has dealt with anything like this, and something, there's only I just kind of see it. It's crazy to think about, but I feel like we're in history books right now. You know what I mean? Like this is gonna be
Yeah.
in history books, and I don't like. I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom. I'm just like kind of weighing the options. But like I've been thinking a lot with the roommates about like how it's gonna affect the local economy and whatnot. And I was thinking, this could put us into like Great Depression level changes. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that you read about in American history textbooks, because that's like, you know what I mean? That's like one of the biggest events that like it affected everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah, for
this,
sure.
and like I'm not even trying to talk about it like it's a bubonic plague and like or the apocalypse or like humankind's doomed or whatever. Like I don't, all that stuff is however you want, whatever you want to make of it. But I just mean just literally what it's going to do on Earth. You know what I mean? Like as far as like our society goes, and like with the economy, the local economy, it's gonna change a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But
For sure.
the way I have been looking at it is like think about the age we live in. You know what I'm saying? Like the age of technology, just how we're still doing this podcast right now, and everyone is literally in their homes. You know what I'm saying? And this episode is still going to go up, and we're still going to get an episode every week because we can do that as humans. We've figured out how to do that, and we've made a way to do it. And like the way I'm trying to look at this is right now everyone is cooped up in their homes. They've got electricity, they've got water, they've got like they're just kept in their homes like when you're grounded as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Except the difference is a lot of these people around here, artists, musicians, like entrepreneurs, they have been craving this time. They've been craving this pause of the world so that they could just like create the things they wanted to create. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like everyone we know has projects that they've been trying to work on. They just haven't had time because they've had to like work their job, or they've had to, deal with family stuff, or they've had to like go to this event or this or that, and they haven't had time. And now none of that is a thing. None of that's relevant. You know what I'm saying? None of that is part of daily life as of right now. So the only thing people are doing, other than stressing, because I know this is new, so like a lot of us have just been thinking in our free time, but once this settles down and we kind of get used to it and like keep moving forward, people are going to start writing, people are going to start recording, people are going to start releasing, and it's just going to be, I feel like if we go down in history books from this event in humankind, it's going to be like the next renaissance. You know what I'm saying? Like this is going to be the next art renaissance. I feel like so much is going to be created from this experience.
True. Yeah, I feel that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, man. Like it's just so weird because you have to just live life day by day, literally right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you and Bree feeling? Like, because I see the grocery store every day, and like, I mean, I've like seen how society's been affected by all this, like directly, one on one. I've like talked to the people that have these opinions that are growing or whatever. But what do you guys see from your perspective?
In what way? What do you mean? What do we see?
I guess like what I've noticed is that there's kind of like it hasn't like hit certain people yet. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain like at first there were just like a couple of people that kind of were like worried about this, and they'd like wear a mask to the grocery store and stuff like that. And then like someone you knew was like starting to worry about this, and it's like, oh, okay, they're actually taking this seriously. They're buying toilet paper, they're doing this, they're doing that. And then it hits you, and you're like, oh man, like this, like what if this is serious? Like I gotta prepare.
Yeah.
So like let's do that. And then now it's to the point where most people have had that little like wave of like, oh crap, like I've gotta get this together. And like we keep getting them back. Like no matter how much we're just like accepting it or okay with it or whatever, like we keep getting these waves of stress, you know what I'm saying, and like questions and whatever. And at the grocery store, I've just started to notice it's starting to hit people. You know what I'm saying? Like it started out pretty calm, and then it kind of just, now it's to the point where I see the people that are acting out of fear, and I see the people that are just kind of going crazy, you know, and that's like not how we need to handle this.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I've been keeping in mind, is like this, it just depends how we handle this, you know, how we go about this as a society. And at first, and still, I've noticed at the grocery store, people being accepting, you know, I'll say thank you for your patience because I know the lines are super long, and they'll say, you know, thank you for being here. You know, we don't, you're risking yourself to be here for us, so thank you. And that's typically how the conversations have went. But then, like, just lately, I see more and more of these cases of people just starting to freak out, being rude, like kind of just every man for himself mentality. And yeah, it just reminds me not to be like that, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But you
Yeah,
got like
some
that's
people.
not a perspective y'all would have, right? You and Bree, that like I guess seeing it day by day, like progress from person to person, when you guys just see news reports.
Yeah, I mean, I have had to go out a couple times to the grocery store for things we need,
Oh yeah.
and but so I haven't seen it as much. But there was one time, you know, and when I do, I take very like heavy precautions. Like I'll go out with, if I'm going in public right now, I'm definitely wearing a mask and gloves, and just having wipes in my car, and also like a bottle of Listerine, and you know, I just disinfect everything. I try not to pull my phone out, but like when I'm done, I disinfect the gloves, throw them away, disinfect my keys, like my wallet, my card, stuff like that. But like, to give an example, I was in CVS getting some things, and I was checking out, and I was behind this lady, and I was about 8 feet away from her, just behind, because she was an older lady, and she was like next in line, and she looks at me and just starts laughing, and then because like I guess my mask and gloves or whatever, and she's like, I'll stay away from you, and I'm like, please do, and like for real, you know, and then she like went up to the thing, and she was just buying some razors or whatever, and then she's like, she asked the guy if they had any thermometers, and I'm just like, and she didn't even buy them. The guy's like, yeah, we have two, and she's like, okay, I'm good, and I'm just like, did you do that to mess with me, or
What the heck?
like, you know what I mean, like, and but yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'm just like, screw that lady, honestly, but yeah, that's really the only ugly interaction I've had. Other than that, I mean, yeah, I haven't been out really. Other than that, and seen too much. The last time I went out was like before. It was like like day one when we went on quarantine, and and nobody was wearing gloves, or anything. Nobody was wearing anything. So that was just like, wow. But now I think, I don't know if this is true. Maybe you can vouch for it, but they set like certain times in grocery stores for like elderly people to go.
I have heard that, yeah. Aldi hasn't, but I heard Publix, yeah. I think they're taking like an hour out of the day, like maybe the first hour of open or the last one before close or something like that. That's gonna be, yeah, you're only allowed in under those circumstances. But all these policies have been changed in a lot. It's been really crazy because we've had like limits on items, and kind of like the whole workflow of Aldi changed, and like it's just weird because now we just have to anticipate like 100 customers being at the door right at open, and then the first 3 hours of open being like the busiest the store's ever been, and then it slows down, and then just half your shelves are empty. But it's just like something we've had to adapt to. But that's one thing I was going to talk about too, is just how weird it feels from my perspective, because not a lot has changed for me as far as just like my, you know, obviously all my creative stuff is weird because of the world, but you know, my day-to-day job, Aldi, is the same. I still go in at 5 a.m., still get out at 2 or 3 or whatever. And like the job itself is a lot weirder and different right now, but I still get my same paycheck when I know my roommate and like a lot of people that I know have zero income right now because they're musicians, or they make a living off of everything that just closed. So it's like I feel really strange just going to work normal every day, you know, because there's people like you who are totally off work. There's people like Chris who's totally off work, and I'm just like, oh, got to go punch in and set the display at Aldi. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just feels
Yeah, I
kind of
mean, it's
weird.
good. Yeah, I mean, it's scary that you'd have to be out in public like that in a time like this, but it is good financially and
Yeah.
economically. Like, you're one of the people that aren't
Yeah.
without work right now, so that
Yeah.
is good. And yeah, I
Which means
mean,
I can help. Like that's the way I've been looking at it. Is like, I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom and like talk about how scary it is, because it is really scary. We all know that, and we're all kind of afraid. Even if like deep down, we're all really scared right now because this is crazy and we don't know what's gonna happen. But at Aldi, because my stuff is pretty normal. In fact, I got a pay raise through all of this craziness. Like I'm making more money than I did and more hours than I did. So, and my rent's gonna be affected just like everyone else's. Yet I'm making income still. You know what I mean? So I almost feel like I've got to stay strong right now. Because like I want to just not go to work. I want to just like keep myself in and whatever. But it's almost like I am one of the few with an opportunity to actually you to keep working. A lot of people don't have that option whatsoever. You know,
yeah, yeah,
and I mean, I guess there's lots of grocery stores that people could still get hired at through all of this, and like it's not like if you're out of work, you're gonna be out of work forever. But all I'm saying is like I guess this is how I wanted to transition to the happy stuff with you, Danny, because this is a good conversation. But all day today, I've been thinking about like I feel like we've prepared for moments like this, people like you and me, because think about all of the things we did as kids and like role models we had as kids and stories we read and watched as kids. It all revolves around this: how do you handle the potential end of things, kind of, you know what I mean? Like Dragon Ball Z, perfect example of how like humanity in every saga of that show faces extinction or faces some sort of threat of the end of everything. And it's like there's certain people who just have to like the show kind of proves to you that you got to stay strong in order to beat something, and like you can take that however you want to, whether it's like landing a skateboard trick or defeating Frieza and saving the world, like however you want to take that goal. But like these figures we've looked up to, me and you, like Goku and like Link from Legend of Zelda, and like these people who are just symbols of courage and hope and like a hero, you know?
yeah, yeah,
And it's because like they have like as kids we kind of empathize with them. We put ourselves in their shoes and like the adventurer shoes and just thought like, whoa, what would it feel like to be Bilbo and be up against that giant dragon? Or like what would it feel like to be like Goku and all of your friends were just killed by this alien and you're the only person that might be strong enough to take him on? And like that's why we love it so much, because like as kids we just like it makes us get like a little bit of anxiety for them. And it feels so good to see them conquer it. Once you see like when you're scared for Goku and the Z Fighters, and when you're scared for these people that are in danger, and then when they finally beat what was threatening them, it's just like, that's what all good
yeah.
stories are made out of.
Yep, that's true.
And so like I mean, this all sounds so fucking cheesy, but like that's kind of what I've been holding on to whenever I'm like opening and shit's legitimately scary. Like I saw a lady spraying her kids down with Lysol spray and like spraying customers. It was like people. There's few people, but still people who are acting out of fear, and it's just like trips me out to see how kind of like ruthless some people can get. Like Black Friday type shit. But this is like a different scenario.
Yeah.
Because Black Friday is just like greedy people trying to get the TVs for the low and like whatever, like get them while they're there. But this is like, like it is it's hard to even describe. It's a pandemic, a global event. Everyone on Earth is dealing with this right now, and there's certain people that aren't coming together as humanity. They're just saying like, I'm gonna get the shit I need and like fuck y'all. Even though these people are kind of younger, the people who really need to be looked out for right now are the people who are most at risk, like the ill and the elderly.
Yeah.
Man, I went back to doom and gloom. God damn it. Who are some characters you looked up to, Danny? Who are your sigils of hope when you think about it?
Well, yeah, exactly what you were saying. Dragon Ball Z, obviously, because I looked up to them growing up. But
superheroes? You got any superheroes?
Well, I got more anime that I've gotten into.
Oh.
I mean, the Flash, the Flash obviously too, but that's like whatever. But I mean, every anime has a story like that. But like, the guys from Hunter x Hunter, like those kids, went through a lot, man. Went through a lot, got through it, struggled. I don't know. It kind of reaches out to me in a way that, I mean, that's why I like those shows. It's not just a cartoon show like some people might think. There's like heavy story behind it. Attack on Titan, like
Yeah.
literally.
And you
everything.
get to see throughout the show leading up to like the climax, you see all these cards being turned against them. And then when all cards are against them and everyone, including you, the viewer, is thinking, how the hell are they going to get out of this? You know what I mean? They're like, even you're thinking like they're dead. There's zero possibility. Like, oh my God, this is the end of the show. And then they somehow get out of it. And like, just because they just like believe in themselves or believe in the team or whatever, like whatever it is, they just believe and they keep pushing.
Yeah.
No matter how scary it is.
Another good thing too about this whole social distancing thing, and I mean, it's never good when these businesses close, obviously, when these businesses close, but for us skaters, hello. Hella skate spots are open right now.
Yo, did you see the Barracks video? The Barracks posted a video the other day, I think yesterday or the day before, about skating around downtown LA, and everything was barren. Like all those highways, all those like on-ramps and interstate and stuff like that, they were all just empty because I think there's actual lockdowns going on in that city, so no one is out. And they just filmed like on a red camera, so it's all beautiful and just him skating around.
Wow, I didn't see that. I saw on Instagram Braden Shafransky, I think's his name, the pro skater.
Yeah.
Him and his boys skated like the Las Vegas Strip because that's closed down right now.
What?
Yeah, it's like legendary. There's usually so many people there, and there was just nobody. And they're just skating all these spots.
Man, I can't, dude, I've been training so hard. I cannot wait to skate again, especially during these times. Like, I could just be in my driveway just skating all day after work.
Oh, dude.
I actually, can I make a confession here on the air?
Maybe.
I may have skated a little bit yesterday, or the day before yesterday. No, it was.
Oh my God.
Well, but no, listen, I didn't pop any tricks. I did one shove it. But that was the only trick I did. But I just rode up and down the road, like kind of like at Zach's, how I did that. I just did that, but up wing foot. And it was like, I had just run a mile, and I'd like done all my leg stuff, so I was just like chilling. And I was trying to do one more little like bit of cardio after. I think I did like lunges or like squats or something. And then I wanted to do some sort of cardio to kind of loosen up and not feel so tense. And I had already ran like halfway through my workout. So then to end it, I was like, I could do jump rope. And then I saw my skateboard, and I was like, I could just take a couple laps. And then I just like pushed up and down the road. I pushed switch a little bit because my left leg's the one I'm trying to work on the stability and strength right now mainly before I'm better. And so pushing switch really helps that because I'm balancing while I'm like on one foot, and then I'm like, as I'm like pushing myself forward, I'm using my whole left leg and really working my quads and whatnot. Won't be long, dude.
True.
But I did have the quarter pipe out like down the driveway, and Chris walked out and he had a big smile and he's like, "You about to skate?" And I was like, "No, I was just using it to like as a diagonal surface to bounce the racquetball off of while I'm balancing on the Bosu ball." But I thought about it. I thought about just like at least doing a rock to fakie over and over and over. Like that would have still been so much fun, just riding up and down the ramp continuously.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, I'll get there. Have you skated?
Yeah.
Have you skated since you've been at home?
No, I mean, I skated down, like I told you, I skated down the street. I skated about 2 miles, but it was just on really rough ground. And once I did get on smooth ground for a little bit, it was on the busy road, but there was no cars. And I just did like a couple tricks, like a heel flip and like fakie half cab heel, just like stuff like that. But yeah, I haven't really skated like a session. I've been wanting to wake up early in the morning and go to Veteran, because that's still social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'd have to wake up pretty early just to make sure nobody's out there.
Do it. What else you got going on?
Nothing. Not a bad thing. I would love to.
Film some YouTube
I can
videos.
If I can get the 100% okay from my wife, I would love to. Yeah, we'll see. I might do it.
Okay, I got a challenge for you, dude.
What's that?
Okay, so I think we're gonna wrap this one up pretty soon because it is pretty late and I got to get up super early for work tomorrow. But we won't. Now we know how to do this. We figured out how to get Danny on the mic while he's not here. So we'll be able to do longer episodes. But before I wrap it up, I wanted to say that there's no video this time, just for the viewer. There's no video this time, but there will be. Like I said, we just figured out how to do this whole setup. So I'll get a camera for next time, and then I redesigned the studio a little bit to make it more of a single-person view for when we do the videos. But that also means I'm going to be making hella YouTube videos. So Professor Shred is going to be active on the social medias during this whole thing. But Dan, you know my challenge for you, because part of what I'm doing creatively with this whole setup and having access to the recording equipment is finishing my audiobook. Have you started reading Helm yet?
Yes, bro. I'm on chapter. I'm caught up on what's out right now. Unless you currently just released another one, I'm caught up. I've read the 5.
There's 8.
There's 8?
Well, the ones I just released, I just now, like when you called me earlier, just a little bit ago, I was uploading. Let's see, I did the intro and then 1 and 2, and then I did 3 and 4, and then today I uploaded 5 and 6, and then there's 7 and 8 that are still already recorded, ready to upload, and then I have to start recording them again, which is gonna be fire, because these first 8 episodes, the audio is before we had this new interface and before we really understood like microphone etiquette and stuff, so it's not as good quality. But these next chapters, the rest of the book, is gonna be fire quality.
Nice.
So then, what do you think of it so far, or do you need to reread it?
Yeah, I need to reread it because it's been a while. I was listening to them whenever you were uploading them last, like on the daily or weekly, and no, it's good though. Of course, it's good. It's crazy for me. I think I've already said it once in the earlier episodes, but it's crazy for me to listen to it because to see what you turned it into for people listening who don't know, like, that was just like. That story is based on like what we used to play our action figures with when we were kids. So we had this whole world, and we'd like, it was crazy. And I mean, obviously you changed it a lot to make it an actual story, but like it's cool for me to read it and listen to it and see how it's changed and what just how it hasn't changed though, how it's been like just the same story, strict story, with even the same little details here and there. It's cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want the challenge to be. So at every episode, at the front of every episode, I should ask you because let's see, I don't know how frequently I'm gonna. I want to upload an audiobook pretty much like every other day or like a couple a week at least. So by the time a podcast comes out, you will have read another like 4 to 6 chapters. So I could just like get your like kind of update on where the story's at and like what you think of it so far. And also there are going to be little things that creep in, like characters that were not like there's characters that I based off of people that you and I knew as like little like dudes that we would use or people we would create or whatever. And I want to see how you pick up on them. I want to see throughout the story if you pick up on the little things that are the same through it all.
For sure. Yeah, I'll try. Where are they on again? Are they on?
They're on
Apple?
All the platforms that the podcast is on, because I uploaded it through Anchor, but I've been uploading them to Facebook this week. So like through this whole everyone in their houses business, I have been every day uploading another 2 chapters to Facebook. So they're just like little 30-minute videos. And that way, if you don't have Spotify or you don't use Apple Podcasts or anything, you can just open up Facebook and go to Professor Shred page and start listening.
Nice. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and they're just each segment is 2 chapters roughly and about 30 minutes. So, and I'm at chapter 8 now. Like that'll go up tomorrow, and then that'll be, let's see, about like 2.5 hours of content of listening, and then there's I think 40 chapters in the book, 35 or 40 chapters. So yeah, in a couple of weeks it'll all be up, and the whole audiobook will be out, and then I can like go from there. I want to do art. Like, man, I'm so excited. Like this, like I'll go from a wave of stress and like fear and worry to like a wave of excitement, because I'm one of those artists that has just been waiting for a moment like this, where now I can just like draw all the time and just. I mean, I still have to work, but there's so many things that I don't have to worry about anymore that I had to worry about. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
Now,
For sure.
Yeah, but before we wrap it up, is there anything you wanted to like close on? Any like little things you wanted to share? I know I've been kind of like talking a lot. Any way you want to wrap up this little episode?
Well, I don't know. Not really. I hope, I mean, I don't know. Everything's I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let's end it on a bright note. Where can they find us at?
They can find us at City of Palms Podcast on Instagram, Facebook.
Where the highlights at?
Highlight clips are on YouTube.
Ooh.
Yeah, sorry, it's a little hard to do this over the phone, but it's a little hard to do it's a little hard to do the outro over the phone. How long we've been talking to the phone, doing outro. But no,
you can catch us every Monday, no matter what.
I guess this has been episode 1 of the quarantine episode series.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep. We'll be back at you. All right. Thank you for listening, everybody. Bear with us. I know our quality is not like it was, but we're still here, and that's what really matters, and we're going to stay here. So stay safe. Social distance yourself, or fully quarantine if your state and county want to do that. But yeah, take care of yourself. Take care of everyone else. We're in this together. Right, Danny?
Yeet. Let's come out strong.
All right. Soren's all the way over in Germany. I hope he's doing good. Hit us with the outro, Soren.
He reached out to us, bro. He reached out to us.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So make sure y'all doing good. I'm like, hey, man.
Hey.
Shout out, Soren.
Hell yeah. Hit him with the outro.
Shout out, Soren. Hit him with that outro.
Woo.